Welcome to Mildly Offensive TV, Corona version.
Hey man, sorry about that.
Big guy, how you doing?
What the fuck is this?
About to take a drink.
You can't drink with the mask on.
Hey, I know what I can do with the mask on and what I can't do, okay? Okay, big guy?
What are you afraid of? You got a die? We got a show to shoot today. Are you gonna keep this mask on throughout the whole show?
I'm fucking ready to go.
You're not fucking ready to go with fucking surgical gloves on and a goddamn mask.
What do you mean?
What are you fucking afraid of?
Big guy, it's a deadly virus going on, okay? We have to protect ourselves from each other, and we have to protect ourselves from our own self. Okay?
How you gonna protect yourself from your own self?
Hold on, big guy.
You know, I knew this was gonna happen.
If we haven't offended you yet, but we got a hot new episode coming up, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
First and foremost, make sure y'all follow us on Facebook at Mildly Offensive TV. Hit us up on Instagram at The Mildly Offensive.
Yes,
make sure y'all follow us. Hit that like and subscribe button, man, so we can keep doing this. Also, we want to appreciate y'all for helping us hit 100 subscribers. We appreciate that. Over 3,000 views. So yeah, we appreciate the support and keep fucking with us.
And we're gonna keep this fire coming, man.
Keep it coming, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get off into it, man. Let's go ahead and attack the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
The big story, the big thing that everybody's talking about.
Absolutely.
The coronavirus.
Yeah.
What is it? COVID-19.
COVID-19.
The
That's a
shit
beautiful
that's
name.
got us under curfew and quarantine right now.
Yeah.
I mean, what you think, man? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, if we want to break it down systemically, however you want to say that shit, coronavirus impacts us in a number of different ways. The ones that we're going to focus on: economic, social, political, and sexual. Because I know a girl who has coronavirus. It's just in her butt, though. It's nowhere else. She doesn't have it in her throat or anything like. Well, anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, let's just get to the economic.
Wait.
No, we have to save that. We're gonna save that.
But you do understand that the coronavirus is a respiratory virus. It can't be in her butt.
Big guy, she has it in her ass. Okay, trust me. I looked there personally. Okay.
Moving right along.
That's what I'm saying.
What's your take on what's going on, man? I mean, you think it's a hoax? You think it's real? I mean, people are dying.
I definitely don't think it's a hoax. So for everyone that says it's a hoax, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Now, is it kind of overhyped a little bit?
Yeah.
Maybe. You know, are there things about it? See, the one thing you have to understand, in an environment where shit is occurring, you know, like in real life time, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of, you know, you don't know. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So there are going to be things about this that we miss. There are going to be things about this where people are misinformed just because it's happening in real life time. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be things that you miss. Now, as far as, again, I don't necessarily think it's a hoax, but what I do think, I think coronavirus is a virus that is not new, and that's most important. This is not a new virus. This is not something that came out of left field. There are aspects of it where I've seen people say, and there's probably truth to this, that there are certain pharmaceutical companies that had patents on coronavirus. There was another European pharmaceutical company that recently had a patent as far as, I think they got started around 2011 for a vaccine for coronavirus. These are certain things that I've seen.
Wait a minute, isn't it two different types of coronavirus?
See, this is what I mean about misinformation and just things when they happen to play out in real time. I have heard that there are 2 different strains.
Yeah, I think it is 2 different strains.
I have heard that.
This is the COVID-19. The other one.
Well, there are several strains, but the strains that are impacting people now.
Right, that's the 19.
Yeah, is the 19.
That's the deadly one. I think the other one has been around, and it's not not that bad of a strain or whatever. Because even if you look on the back of a Lysol can, it has coronavirus on it, but that ain't the same shit I think that we fight now, man. I don't know, man. It's multi-layers to this. Now, is it a real virus going around?
Absolutely.
Sure it is. Are people dying? Sure it is. So is it something to take serious, as far as health precautions? Absolutely. But my issues are, where did it come from? Why now? And the way that they handled it,
Let's start with where it came from, or from what they say where it came from. So allegedly, this is something that sprung up out of China, out of one of these wet markets where these motherfuckers, I'm not gonna lie, some of that shit they sell in that wet market, that's some bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bat eyes and monkey dicks, bro. What the fuck is going on where you're doing that? But again, if that's what you do culturally and that's what you've always done, okay, fine. But at some point, see, and from my understanding, is with this particular virus in particular, they have it coming out of Wuhan, but they don't know whether it was actually a bat, whether it was a bat that because they have animals there that are wild animals, like bats, warthogs, snakes that are wild animals. Then they have meat there that has been butchered, so an animal that was killed and it's butchered right there in front of you, as well as food that is being cooked. See, and those are 3 different stages that you shouldn't have all that shit in one spot. You understand what I'm saying? That's too much shit going on.
You don't put cooked meat with raw meat.
You see what I'm saying?
We know that.
You're not supposed, along with an animal that has recently been killed, and you gutting them and you doing all of that shit right there. That's way too much. And see, so to me, as far as that, and see, to me, if I look at it from just even my limited medical knowledge, I can see how a virus could originate.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bacteria,
like
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. I can see that. So I don't necessarily agree with the hoax, as far as like.
But here's the thing, to add to your point about what you're saying, that's been going on in China for a long time.
Very true.
That ain't nothing new. So now, like I said, why now?
Okay.
Why all of a sudden now? But it almost makes you think, is this something that came out a couple years ago? They saw it. They saw the strands of it. Of course, a new disease or a new bacteria or whatever, they're going to study it. And it makes me believe that they studied it. There were earlier cases of it. They might didn't know what it was. They didn't have a name for it at the time. But they studied it. They saw how it got contracted or whatever, how it came about. And they watched it and seen the effects on people. And I think to a certain point, they're using it as a weapon. And what leads me to believe that at least the United States for sure is probably using this as a weapon. I mean, look at what's going on. All of a sudden now you got a $2 trillion bill that they're getting ready to pass to help the American people, to help out the small businesses and this and that. That's all bullshit. They don't give a fuck about helping us like that. Because, you never tried to do anything before now. But also the things that they're trying to push inside of that bill.
Very true, yeah.
The Democrats and the Republicans sitting there, now it's a crisis. People are dying. But they can't go to the floor, come together on a bill and pass it in a day or 2. It took them, 3-4 days?
See, this is what I mean. So what you're talking about now, those are political consequences of what this virus has done from a political standpoint. Now again, Democrats and Republicans, them both of them are fucking jack-offs, and they don't really do dick anyway. You know what I'm saying? And them sliding shit in on the back end of a bill. See, because my thing is, from a political standpoint, if you really, like you said, gave a fuck about the American people, why are you trying to slide in things that don't have anything to do with this?
You're saying you want to get money into the American people's hands right away.
That's what I'm saying. Let's suspend all of the bullshit that we got. We can come back and do the bullshit tomorrow.
Right.
We can do the bullshit tomorrow.
We can do bullshit tomorrow.
Let's just push this thing through. Get this out of the way. You don't attach nothing to it. I don't attach anything to it.
So why is it so important to attach something to it? And also what they're trying to attach to it. They're trying to attach the digital dollar.
Yeah.
I think we all know that the government at the end of the day is trying to get a tyranny thing going. They're trying to get us in a police state.
Let me interject too, because, and see, this is another thing about policy and political. See, sometimes when you can't control the narrative, when the narrative changes, what you do is you try to you piggyback off of the narrative change. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like with the 9/11 thing. There was a senator named Trent Lott, and when it happened, Michael Moore in his documentary, the 9/11 documentary that he did, there's a part in there where he says, he quotes Trent Lott as saying, well, hey, this 9/11 shit happening, now we can do some things that we've been wanting to do. You know what I'm saying? So with this virus, whether or not it was a hoax, whether or not it was something that naturally occurred, whether or not it was something that was mixed between the two, they're going to take advantage of it.
Because the ultimate goal is tyranny, is police state. It's like, what's coming is, it's like you said, you got a global pandemic.
Yes, sir.
Which is spreading fear rapidly. People are afraid as shit. People don't want to go to work. They just
social
lay down. So now everybody's in frenzy. What's the perfect time to tell you, hey, you know what? Those dollar bills, those $5 bills you got, those 20s and those 100s that you're carrying in your pocket,
dirty little motherfuckers.
They're dirty, and the coronavirus can sit on those, and you can transfer that, virus or that disease or that bacteria to each person. We got to do away with it, which puts us all on a digital system.
Correct.
Now, use your credit card. You can just bump it, or you can just. It's not even going to eliminate it. They're not going to probably introduce it as it's going to eliminate it, but it's going to cut it in half, or it's going to cut it down to 20% or 10% of transfer that we got down with money.
Yeah, and see again, you make a great point, but this again shows you, to my point about disinformation and misinformation when things are happening in real time. Because according to what some of the stories that I've read and that you can pull up and Google, the shit sits on plastic. The only thing it sits on longer than plastic is metal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Paper, cardboard, and shit like that, it sits on there. It's off of there within a matter of 3 or 4 hours. We're talking about 60 to 70% of the viral aspect of the virus is off of the shit.
But they're going to create some bullshit.
Well, it's just the fact that we panic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See,
that's what they can sorry.
I'm trying to
That's what people going to say.
See, and you just said it. People, see, a person is rational. A person gets it. But people, a herd of stupid motherfucking people?
Yeah.
Bro.
And they going, like I said, I compare it to 9/11. The world has been different since 9/11.
Absolutely.
They were able to come up with the NSA. They were able to put cameras everywhere. Certain things with your banking changed after 9/11. I mean, a lot of laws went into place and gave the government a lot of power.
TSA was created out of, or at least if it wasn't created, it was greatly expanded.
What's that, NSA? Who the fuck is the NSA?
Hey, that's
NASA.
Yeah, or no, the national security,
Yeah, them motherfuckers too.
Yeah, all that shit is the same shit.
All the government changed, and they created these new agencies and all this old shit. And they're going to do the same thing with this. They're going to take advantage of this moment.
Absolutely.
And say, hey, we've been wanting to push digital currency because the dollar ain't worth shit no more. And we don't want y'all transferring dollars. Because if I eliminate physical money, then you can't harbor $5,000 under your mattress no more. You can't have a weed business going. You can't be selling cocaine under the table.
Yeah.
Illegal immigrants can't cut grass and all this, side jobs.
It's about control.
Yeah, it's a control thing.
It's a control
they need to know what you're doing at all times. I need to see all your transactions. And more importantly, they want to get it to the point where when the next big crisis comes here in the future, they can shut you down by a push of a button. Because everything is digital. We got your social security number, we got your identification, your driver's license, we got your birth certificate, and all your banking, your job, your mortgage, everything is on this card or it's on this chip. That is you.
See, once again, it's perfect segues. Now what you're talking about is economic. And these are the economic impacts of the virus. Let alone the fact that motherfuckers is not working now. You took the largest economy on the planet.
Shut it or cut it in half at least.
And bought that shit to a standstill.
Yeah.
My nigga. See,
never before has that ever happened.
Never. You see, again, even with 9/11 is the closest thing, but if you want to look at like hurricanes and these natural disasters that happen in isolated parts of the country, yeah, that part of the country shut down.
I wouldn't even compare 9/11 because 9/11 was more of a heightened security. They shut it down for say shut the planes down.
This is why I'll say 9/11 is the closest thing to it, because it was war. It was an act of war, and this germ, they've declared war on.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Why did they declare war? Why do they need to put it in that perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Because it gives you certain
powers.
Yes,
sir.
That's why Trump is put. I'm not consider myself a war president. It's a fucking health epidemic.
Yeah.
Or a pandemic. It's a health crisis.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a war. There's no guns involved. There's no foreign.
It is not a physical.
Yeah, it's not a war. Now that's just like you say. He's playing with words. That's what they do. We had a war on drugs.
See, but again, there you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had a war on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have a war against the invisible threat and all this old shit. But they're using that word war loosely. But they really, on paper, it means a lot more than what he's saying. He's saying it in a frivolous way, like, oh yeah, we're at war. We're going to kick this virus ass. But on paper, he's saying, I'm declaring war on this. We're wartime.
Because
give me these powers. And
the reason why they do say it loosely and they use war in that term, because war means an attack on my life, an attack on my customs and norms and the way I normally go about doing shit every day in society.
It's threatening our economic system.
There you go.
And as the president, it's his job to protect that. Granted.
There aren't many things that I'm behind Donald Trump on. Matter of fact, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that I do have to agree with him on, you know what I'm saying?
You can't shut the country down.
You cannot do that.
They'll tear this motherfucker to pieces.
They'll rip this shit to shreds, and rightfully so.
And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get right there to the line. Because you got Trump saying we can't shut it down. I want to see the churches full by Easter. I want to see this economy back up and going. You got the medical experts saying, I think you're jumping the gun. I think it's too soon. Mm-hmm. The rate of death or either death or the cases of it in New York is doubling every 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, it went from 15,000 to 30,000.
New York is fucked up.
In the last 2 days.
New York is
Which
fucked up.
I agree with Trump when he said, and the medical professionals, that it's regional. You know, here in Texas, we might not get hit like they're getting hit in New York. We're not on top of each other in Texas.
Yeah.
We don't have a badass transit system.
Yes,
we ain't got no L train.
No
we ain't got no subway.
Everybody's in cars.
Everybody in cars, so you kind of isolated. Mm-hmm. You can control your environment better out here in Texas. We got backyards. We got front yards. We're not in tenement buildings. We're not, all on top of each other like that. Most people out here, we got land. We got our little square of privacy.
Yeah.
But out there, they're all in apartment buildings. They're all in, in tenement buildings and on top of each other, in the subway, they're on the train and all that old shit. So, quite naturally, you touching the handrails, you touching the doors, you transferring money and tokens and coins, and hell yeah, a virus have a field day in New York.
And see, the thing about it, and this is why he looks at the numbers in a way, and people say, he's a fucking ogre and an animal for saying he's just concentrating on the deaths. We need to focus on prevention. Well, after a certain point, when you realize that you can't prevent this, because the virus is so...
You can't see it.
You can't see it, but it's such an easy virus to catch. There's really almost no way to prevent it. What you do is you devote resources to treating the virus. You know what I'm saying? But it's like once you reach a certain point, prevention is really tough. But the point that I really want to make with as far as New York City goes, with them in particular, and this virus, when you reach a certain level, and the virus has basically. Yeah, I get it. You want to flatten the curve and all that other bullshit. Big guy forgot my point. I don't know.
What?
Whatever point I was going to make, just in here, out there.
Is coronavirus kicking in?
No, I'm just brain dead.
But you were talking about Trump and his point and everything like that, and he does have a point. I mean, we're in America, man. In America, hello, greed is good in America. That's America's policy. Greed is good. Greed is always going to kick in at a certain point. America, we're known for putting on a morality facade. It's about morality. We have to go across the globe and kick some people's ass and kill them in the name of democracy, in the name of morality. But we do shit here in America that's absurd, that's just cruel. We've always been that way.
Oh, yeah.
That's why other countries hate us so much, because we're hypocrites.
We do one thing
and say another.
Say something totally different.
And so when I look at on the news, when I look at Trump with his everyday, press briefing or whatever you call it, yeah, when it first started, we got to attack this pandemic, we got to get after it, make lives, blah, blah, blah. A week later, stock market's crashing, shit's getting bad, governors are shutting down the city, that stock market is tanking, people are losing money. What we lost, like $2 or $3 trillion.
Basically, all the gains that he's gained since he's been in office.
He's not having.
Fuck out. No.
An election year too, basically. No, he's not having. You're not about to erase the one thing that I got to stand on. Is the economy.
That's what I was going to say though, because even erasing the economy, but okay, and see that's the other thing with scientists. And these are just like in World War II when you had scientists saying, what they were saying about the atomic bomb. It's different as far as because these are medical scientists, and yeah, they may know what's best for us from a medical standpoint, but from an economic standpoint, if you shut shit down for 3-4 months, and again, the United States economy, the way our economy is set up, this shit can't be shut down 2 weeks. At the most, maybe a month. I'll give you a month. But you can't.
That's generous.
You cannot shut an economy down of this size.
Niggas is gonna lose it.
But even still, it creates a domino effect. Because
we're the epicenter.
You have people that, rents are due. This is all in a month's point in time. You have rents that are due, car notes, bond payments, all manner of shit. It comes due, and it creates a domino effect. If you grind an economy of that size to a halt, nigga, I don't give a fuck who you are and where you are on the planet. Especially a democratic, it's a little easier to do that type of shit in China because they have a top-down type of economy. You're a state-ran economy, which means that if they shut it down, they can also turn around and one nigga say, "Hey, turn this shit back on," and they get it going again.
Right, they get it going.
We couldn't even say, "Hey, let's get the American people this fucking money." Without the shit failing.
Everything got to go through all these different channels.
It's so much red tape.
Congress, and
it's impossible.
The president got to sign it, and that's the downside of being a democracy.
So Trump's point, to his point, when he says, "Hey, listen, this shit has to go. It has to start again by April 12th or Easter. Otherwise, if we wait any longer than that, motherfuckers aren't going to have anything to come back to, period."
And here's the ugly part of it. Here's the big elephant in the room that a lot of people don't want to talk about. A lot of people are not happy with. And they're gonna shoot Trump's ass about it. People are gonna die.
Yeah, absolutely.
More people are gonna die.
Absolutely.
More people are gonna contract this virus. It's gonna happen. Jobs and companies, they're not gonna shut down. No. They're gonna say they're gonna put it in your hands as the individual. They're going to say, if you feel threatened or you feel it's your responsibility to protect yourself. Mm-hmm. So whether that means latex gloves, surgical mask, hand sanitizer, staying 6 feet away, it's your job. We're putting it in your hand. You protect your own livelihood, but we're not shutting it down. Basically, it's your own risk is what it's about to be.
No doubt.
Because I believe by Monday, Trump he's teetering around it. But, well, maybe not Monday, but coming up here very, very soon, like he said, Easter's only, what, 2 or 3 weeks away? If
About
that?
2 or 3 weeks away.
And he's going to take the guards off.
Got to.
And he's going to look at it like, hey, it's your own risk, but we got to go. If you want that Whopper that bad, you're more than welcome to go get that motherfucker.
Go get that.
I hope you're willing to die for it. You know, and it's kind of like a lot of other viruses out here. And people are going to panic, and they're going to think he's wrong, and they're going to act
they're going to act a goddamn fool.
And he's insensitive, and it's about greed. And it is. But you know where
right
you're
there.
at.
Greed is fucking
You know where
good.
you're at, though.
Yeah.
With me, a lot of people get surprised, and the media makes a big story about it, but they know where they at. You're in America.
Yeah.
You're in America. It's about money. America ain't nothing but a big-ass corporation.
That's it.
And they ain't shut down for too long. They'll show, just like at your bullshit job, they show a little compassion.
Because they
Very
forced
little.
to. They look bad if they fucking don't.
That's the only reason they
You
do.
understand what I'm saying?
But they really don't give a fuck. Oh, yeah,
No.
we care. Because if they could, they wouldn't even give you sick days.
Yeah.
That's why most jobs give you the minimum that they could give you.
No sick days.
3 to
no
5
security,
days.
No sick days, Social Security, vacation. All of that shit is some shit, again, because this is the heart of capitalism, nigga. Nigga, 100 years ago, they had children in factories, nigga. They didn't give a flying fuck.
They didn't give a fuck. This is the same country that produced slavery on a massive scale like they had never seen before. So, what the fuck do they give a damn about coronavirus? If you can hang a nigga from a tree
I know.
and sleep like a baby that night,
I know.
he got what he deserved, JD. They didn't give a damn. So this is the same economy. This is the same country. This is their great-great-grandchild that's doing this shit. You know, Trump, his great-great-great-grandfather, he popped that whip back in the 1800s. And a lot of these congressmen and representatives and all that, that's what we are in America. We're hypocrites. We shame the world. We toot our own horns. We're fat. We're overweight. We're just full of gluttony. All we think about is big cars, the American way, money, 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 money. Fuck you, pay me. That's America.
Listen, if you're not American and you're not British, you're basically a barefoot, broke animal person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to how my nigga got on the podium and said, hey, this is a Chinese virus. You don't understand. You say that type of shit and you do that type of shit being a troll. Because it's not, you can't really.
That's what he did.
You can't really call it racist. Even though it is. It's like right there. You understand what I'm saying?
Trump is so petty.
He's a piece of shit for it.
Every time he got on that fucking stage this week and last week, either he said something about the press, he said something about calling it the Chinese virus. It's like it's a national or global crisis. But what do? I gotta be petty and I gotta call it the Chinese virus. Then what the press say? Mr. President, they know what it is.
Yeah.
They gonna take the baby.
Yeah,
why you call it Chinese? It came from China. And they're like, yeah, we know it came from China allegedly, but it's like, come on, do you really have to? Trump, to this day, when I watch Trump been in office, what, 2 years now? A little over 2 years?
It's been 4 years. This is election year.
It sure is. Goddamn time we about
time flies.
Because you know why I can't keep up with it? Because every time I see him,
you can't watch that.
It's not real. It's like it's a bad episode of The Apprentice, or this is some type of parody. This is what I'm looking at. When I look at him, I look at it like this is a joke. It's a parody. This is really not happening. Get him off the stage. I don't know if you remember when Will Ferrell was on Saturday Night Live and Bush was in office. Baby Bush, the son.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell used to go to these White House parties and stuff, and he would imitate Bush at these parties. Everybody would laugh and die. That's what it's like to me when I see Trump. Like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, the real president is about to come
so.
on. He can't give a full sentence.
No, he can't. He's really an idiot.
I mean,
he's really an idiot.
He's an idiot, dude.
I'm gonna tell you why he wins.
Or let me not even say this, because I know the Trump haters out there. I mean, the Trump supporters gonna try to tear our ass over about it. I don't know the man personally, and I don't know the full scope of his intellect. But hey, He can't articulate himself well.
I
can say that.
You gotta judge a person by what you see and by their works. Now, what he does business-wise may be one thing, but like you said, in his day-to-day articulation, and to me, the thing why and I think he's gonna get elected again, because what people like about him is his brashness. He's very brash. He doesn't give a flying fuck.
He's American.
That's what it means to be American.
Trump is American.
To be very brash.
Here's my argument against Trump. People would look at his success. He's supposed to be a billionaire. And they look at some of the deals that he's made. And they look at the position that he's in. But here's the deal. For one, he's a white man in America that was produced by a wealthy family.
Yeah, very wealthy.
It's not that fucking hard.
That's true.
Because his daddy laid out a lot of resources for him.
That's who laid the groundwork.
Yeah, so it was like, if your daddy giving you $1 million loans, and you gotta remember, Trump fucked up a lot.
He did.
He made a lot of bad business deals.
He did.
He went into bankruptcy a couple times.
Absolutely.
So if you throw that dart 1,000 fucking times, you're gonna hit that bullseye eventually. It doesn't make you the smartest motherfucker on earth. It doesn't make you this super badass businessman. It just means what he is, at the end of the day, he's a fighter.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't give up.
Yeah.
And he like you said, that's where that brashness comes from. But if he's this person that pulled himself up, as they tell us in America, and let me remember this phrase, as they tell black people in America, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get out there and get it done. We're coming from nothing, though.
Yeah. Exactly.
He didn't come from nothing.
No.
He came from something.
You made a beautiful point when you said, and I'm going to segue this back into the COVID-19. You know, when you throw a dart 1,000 times, like you said, you're bound to hit the bullseye at least 20, 30. Just on some random shit. See, and again, with this fucking virus, you know, if 80 to 90% of the people who die are, you know, they got compromised immune systems, or they're older, or, you know, whatever it is. You have 400,000 cases of people who have been infected, 15,000 deaths worldwide, then the curve, you know, I can't remember, like, all the probabilities and the statistical names and all that goofy shit that they use, but basically, at a certain point, you're going to get cases that are not the norm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And the media will grab those 1 or 2 cases and say, oh, guess what? Young people are dying from this shit.
Yeah, they got one little kid that died already.
Yeah, I saw that.
The first case.
I saw that. See, but again, this is the first case, and this is some shit that we've been battling against since January. And I'm not sure when the first American case was, but I'm pretty sure it was in February.
Yeah, February, I think.
Yeah, it was sometime in February. It wasn't like yesterday or you know, 2 weeks ago or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but from a number, and see, again, this is why people look at Trump and they call him an animal, but the one major point that he made that actually was a good point, he made 2 good points actually. You know, there are more people who in the United States have died from the flu so far this year than this actual virus. That's one point. The next major point that he made, which I thought was excellent, that I think a lot of people missed, because it came from him, and he's a dick face. But the nigga said there are more car accidents, you know, car accidents kill more people than all of this shit combined. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Are you going to stop driving your car? Are you going to not drive to get to work? Are you going to not drive to go wherever it is that you got to go? No. You know what I'm saying?
No, you ain't going to stop driving.
You're going to take as many precautions as necessary. You're going to put on your seatbelt. You know, you're going to obey traffic rules to, you know, to whatever extent that you can. And you're going to keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? That's an excellent analogy. But again, because it comes from him and his leadership and now I will say this. His response to this shit has been terrible. Because
it's been delayed. The only good thing that he did was he stopped them flights coming from China into America. Yeah. And you got to give him that. They say that's probably one of the smartest decisions he ever made. But again,
he calls it the Chinese virus.
Right.
But again, stop the flights coming from China.
See, here's my deal with Trump. This turned into a Trump conversation, but here's my deal with Trump. Trump, he takes credit for things that he really don't come up with and don't deserve. what he does deserve credit for. He's a fighter, and he's smart enough to surround himself with some of the smartest people in whatever area. You know, like the medical team that he has on his staff at the White House, some of the best ever. Economic people that he picked, some of the best ever assembled in a presidency. I'll give him that. That's why I'm saying that goes to show you, to the average person, you don't have to have all the pieces. You just got to have certain pieces and be smart enough to surround yourself around with other people that have the pieces that you don't possess. And Trump is smart enough to do that. But the way he gives himself credit for everything, the greatest economy in the world, and we've never seen numbers like this. And for one dude, you were claiming that day one.
Yeah.
How the fuck you come into presidency day one, and you're taking credit for the way the economy is? You don't think that the prior president just happened to be Barack Obama? You don't think within his 4 to 8 years that he was in office that he made some decisions and changed some stuff and wrote and helped, introduce certain bills and stuff that end up helping the economy, and it just played out in your presidency?
He knows that.
This is a big ass economy. It don't turn over overnight.
No.
Especially certain things to really go in effect and you to see the fruit of the labor or to see the end result of some of these things.
And that's why
it takes time.
That's why you can't stop this economy like this, and then 3 months later expect the shit to just go on hunky dory. No. And I'm gonna tell you something, because they did approve that stimulus package. Because again, if they didn't, motherfuckers would tear this whole country to fucking pieces.
There's strings attached to that stimulus package.
Of course,
too.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But and there's strings attached to that vaccine too.
The average person, all they're going to hear is 3 things. They're going to hear, I don't have to go to work.
Right.
They're going to hear, I get a fucking check.
With it.
You understand what I'm saying? And nigga, my kids ain't got to go to school.
With it. Yeah. All 3 niggas for sure is with it.
That's
no work, free pay, and kids goddamn. What you say about kids?
Hey, they ain't got to go to fucking school. Which they probably pissed about that. Yeah, they probably pissed about that.
That's a negative.
They probably pissed about that.
They got to get their bad asses back to school.
They do, but you heard, I know that's what I'm saying. Those are the main, everything else, nigga, first of all, fuck the kids out of school shit. Check and no work, nigga.
That's niggas' dream.
That's what niggas is, I'm telling you. And even though $1,000 ain't really shit, and $1,000, the only other thing that I think niggas need to be listening for and watching for is a moratorium on bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if they fucking do that,
oh, you straight. And they gotta do it.
They got to.
They know $1,000 ain't
they
shit.
Got to.
I heard today that they said that it's gonna be an extension, it's gonna be like unemployment insurance on steroids. Mm-hmm. So basically, you'll be able to apply for unemployment, and it's gonna extend for like 2 years, 2 or 4 years.
You got to. That's beautiful. But
and where motherfuckers gonna be that got laid off and shit. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. See, that's what I'm saying about these dirty motherfuckers. They make it so good. Why do you need unemployment insurance for 4 years? You see what it does? You
can't say no. You can't turn that down.
You can't turn it down. Mm-hmm. But what it does, it makes you more dependent and reliable on the government. Mm-hmm. If you kicked out on the street and you on your ass, and I say, hey, Rod, I heard what happened to you. You come stay at my house. Guess what you got to abide by?
My rules.
My fucking rules. So I'm going to provide you with a roof over your head. Yeah. I'm going to provide food. I'm going to give you all this shit. Yeah. And I'm going to let you in. I'm going to make it pretty. Hey, man, you my partner, man. We've been friends for over 25 years, dude. I can't stand to see you like that. Mm-hmm. Come on, man, live with me. And it's going to be all gravy for the first couple weeks until you want to do some things that you want to do that I don't agree with. Yeah. Till you want to have some freedoms that as a grown man you should have. Mm-hmm. But they don't go with what I got going on. So guess what? I need you to be in by 11. You know what I'm saying? I need you to, if you
yes, the boss. to make it.
You see what I'm saying? If you drink the last of this, I need you to go to the store like right then and go get it. You know, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna bait you in.
Yeah.
They're gonna make stipulations so you getting the money. It's not gonna be no fucking free money when you just, oh yeah, I applied and all of a sudden shit, a check showed up in the mail next week. It's not gonna be like that. You're gonna have to forfeit some of your freedom, some of your powers, something to get this money.
But again, people are willing to do that in real time because they're not thinking about the big picture.
People are playing checkers. The government is playing chess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bait you in here in 2020. Just to fuck you over here in 2024 or 2025. You're going to be the forgotten that you signed this shit, you gave us the rights, you just that over here in 2020. I'm going to pull his dick out in 2024.
Oh! You forgot about it.
You forgot about it.
Fine print. It's right in the fine print.
Did you know how some shit you see, have you received food stamps or housing in the last year? So you know how first shit you fill out and they ask you that shit, they want to know. That's their reminder.
Yeah.
That's them shaking that day like you remember. You remember that night you had a little bit too much to drink? Yeah, what about it? Yeah. And you ain't gonna want it. This is unfair. No, motherfucker, you took the money.